Once upon a bygone era, a tale unfolded upon the undulating slopes inhabited by partridges. Amidst this avian community dwelled a partridge of remarkable grace and virtue, aptly named seemly Partridge. Renowned for her exquisite beauty and charm, she stood as a beacon among her feathered kin. From a distance, hunters harbored intentions to ensnare her, and birds of prey harbored desires to capture her. However, the sagacious seemly Partridge, cognizant of the perils that might befall her due to her allure, navigated her life with utmost prudence. Never did she venture forth alone, and she refrained from mingling with unfamiliar birds. Her vigilance served her well, safeguarding her from the clutches of those who sought to ensnare her. On a day when seemly Partridge adorned the mountainside with her melodic crooning and resplendent promenade, a falcon traversed the heavens above. Enraptured by the partridge's song and laughter, the falcon found himself captivated to the extent that he could not bear to depart. In the recesses of his contemplation, the falcon perceived the universal need for companionship, a kindred spirit to share pleasant discourse, a confidant with whom to alleviate the burdens of the day. The prospect of forming an alliance with the beautiful Partridge enthralled him, envisioning a camaraderie that would bring pride to his existence. With a measured descent, the falcon alighted upon the earth, advancing towards the partridge with the intention of initiating a conversation. However, upon catching sight of the approaching falcon, seemly Partridge instinctively concealed herself from view.
"Oh, resplendent Partridge,"
intoned the falcon with sincerity.
"do not recoil in fear, for my affection towards you knows no bounds. Though your allure escaped my notice until this day, your perfection and artistry now stand self-evident before me. Your words and demeanor, like a balm, alleviate the sorrows entrenched in my heart. I beseech you, let us forge a bond of friendship, for therein lie myriad benefits and boundless pleasures."
In response, the partridge, in a lyrical retort, conveyed,
"Majestic and mighty bird, relinquish your perch atop my thoughts and depart. I am not beguiled. Hunting is woven into the fabric of your nature. Go, beguile another soul, for I am no fool."
"Oh, enchanting Partridge,"
the falcon persisted.
"Indeed, the mountains abound with countless partridges, and my vocation is that of a hunter. I, vested with eminence in the avian realm, eschew flattery. Were I to pursue a partridge, it would be someone else, not you. The truth is, your love resides within my heart, and an earnest desire to kindle a friendship and share our lives animates my being."
Yet, the partridge, unwavering in her stance, replied,
"Even if your words ring true and my conduct and beauty find favor in your eyes, it does not, alas, render us friends. This benevolence of yours is transient, for you. Our friendship, like fire and water, is an unwise amalgamation. Should harm befall me at your behest, none shall cast aspersions upon you, instead, blame will befall me for having beguiled you.
Know that I am not devoid of the capability to procure sustenance and engage in the pursuit of prey,"
declared the falcon.
"Hence, harboring no malevolent intentions toward you, our amicable companionship, fueled by your love, shall yield advantages for you. Firstly, as other birds of prey observe you as my confidant, residing beneath my protective wings, they shall accord you respect out of fear, ensuring your immunity from harm and shielding you from the talons of fellow predators. Secondly, my area is immaculate, and I shall convey you to its lofty abode atop the tree, granting you a vantage point over all the mountains. Your elevation, superior to those partridges grounded below, shall be a source of pride. Thirdly, endowed with strength and might, I shall consistently furnish you with a life of opulence and the finest fare, accompanying you on ventures through the days. I shall guide you to locales coveted by other partridges yet beyond their gaze. Should you seek a companion from among your kin, I shall procure whomever you desire, ensuring the completeness of your joy in life. Witnessing your felicity shall, in turn, bring joy to my heart. I implore you, do not shatter my heart, for in this vast expanse, you alone have become the object of my cherished friendship. Do not let me taste the bitterness of disappointment.
Upon hearing these impassioned entreaties, the partridge, softened by the sincerity, replied,
Indeed, all you say holds truth. However, you are the sovereign among birds, and should your affection be directed towards me, envy may cast its shadow, and detractors may seek to dissuade us with their words. Moreover, unaccustomed to kindness and gentility, there lies the risk that one day you may neglect me, and bitterness may pervade your being, against which nothing could shield me. Thus, it is wiser for me to cultivate a life of simplicity, tranquility, and humility, steering clear of the vexations that ambitious dreams may bring.
The falcon, with an earnest tone, spoke.
Dearest, what discourse is this? I solemnly pledge on my honor that I shall lend no ear to the whispers of others, but instead, regard every action of yours through the lens of love. Never shall anger find a dwelling in my heart for you. Should you desire no abode within my nest, even for a solitary day, I shall, with dignity and respect, escort you home. Understand that I am unlike the rest. My words emanate from the depths of my tongue, heart, and soul. I shall remain steadfastly loyal to you throughout the entirety of my existence. I vow that in my eyes, you shall surpass all other birds.
Ultimately, the partridge acquiesced to the falcon's entreaties, agreeing to forge a bond of friendship. Emerging from his nest, the falcon, with gentle grace, lifted the partridge upon his shoulder, bearing him to the sanctuary of his lofty eyrie. For several blissful days, the falcon graciously extended his hospitality to the partridge, enveloping him in a warm embrace of affection. Together, they ventured into the mountains and verdant forests, and the partridge reveled in the joy of being with the falcon. In the radiant presence of his newfound companion, the partridge's laughter resonated more melodiously, his songs echoed more sweetly, and his gestures of delight multiplied, casting a luminous spell upon both of them. Immersed in each other's company, they found solace and delight, casting aside the tribulations of the outside world. Gradually, the partridge became acclimated to this idyllic existence, occasionally jesting about the mundane lives of his fellow partridges.
Poor partridges, ensnared in the monotony and tedium of their existence. Perpetually confined to unsightly nests on the ground, they have not glimpsed the world above. Never have they ascended to the pinnacle of the tree, never have they beheld the wonders beyond.
The harmony that had gracefully adorned the days of the falcon and the partridge took an unforeseen turn on a fateful day. As they strolled together, a subtle shift in the falcon's demeanor became apparent. His words grew sparse, and the once vibrant laughter that had woven joy into their shared moments fell silent. When the time came for the falcon to lead the partridge back to the nest, an uncharacteristic coldness permeated the air, culminating in a callous act of disregard as the partridge was tossed to the side with disrespect. The partridge, wounded both in body and spirit, bore the brunt of this sudden and inexplicable change. Initially perturbed, the partridge sought understanding, attributing the falcon's behavior to potential grievances in the mountain realm. Perhaps the falcon was unwell or burdened by some undisclosed trouble. In an attempt to bridge the growing gap, the partridge approached the falcon with a smile and words of kindness. However, the falcon, unmoved, wore a furrowed brow and maintained a stoic silence. With each passing moment, the partridge's trepidation intensified. A shadow of fear loomed, and the once harmonious companionship now seemed shrouded in uncertainty. A poignant realization crept into the partridge's thoughts: 100 years of companionship with a bird now shrouded in enigma may not outweigh the torment of a single hour of anxiety. Self-reflection brought forth the recognition that the allure of a life elevated by greed and opulence had led to a connection with a force stronger than oneself. Now, faced with potential rebuff and anger, the partridge grappled with the daunting question, what course of action lay ahead? The tale unfolded as the falcon, beleaguered by a day of fruitless searching, found itself famished in the embrace of night. Desperation cast a shadow over the mountain, compelling the falcon to seek a pretext to ensnare the partridge for sustenance. Sensing the imminent danger, the partridge, ever vigilant, treaded with even greater courtesy and kindness, wary not to provide the falcon with an excuse for a predatory pursuit. In a moment of quiet inquiry, the falcon, perturbed by the partridge's perceived melancholy, sought an explanation.
Why are you upset?
The falcon inquired, to which the partridge, masking any distress, replied,
No, nothing troubles me in your service.
The falcon persisted, urging the partridge to sit. Displaying humility, the partridge complied, settling down with grace. The falcon, dissatisfied with the partridge's reserved demeanor, probed further, questioning the cause of the silence. The partridge, discerning the falcon's weariness, tactfully responded,
As you spoke little, I thought you might be tired and wish to rest, and I will do as you please.
Seeing no pretext for his voracious appetite, the falcon, driven by hunger and frustration, seized upon a trivial matter, exclaiming,
Is it proper that I should sit in the heat of the sun, and you in the shade?
The partridge, unperturbed, countered,
My dear, what do you mean now that it is dark and night and there is no sun? What excuse do you take, which sun? Now that there is no sun.
Incensed by the partridge's rationale, the falcon, succumbing to his primal instincts, seized the unsuspecting creature in his talons.
O rude bird!
Exclaimed the falcon.
Your insolence has reached a point where you reject my words, deeming me a liar. Now you shall be sated, and I shall hunger no more.
Now you shall be sated, and I shall hunger no more. With this declaration, the falcon mercilessly hunted the hapless partridge, concluding the ephemeral and ill-fated friendship. As the falcon indulged in his feast, he mused to himself,
What a delectable catch! In the end, a partridge is but a savory morsel. I merely sought amusement for a few days, while the naive partridge believed he could captivate me with his beauty for all eternity.
Thus concluded the tragic tale of the once blossoming companionship between the partridge and the hunting falcon. In matters of the heart, it is essential to strike a balance between love and rationality. Love is a powerful force that can sweep us off our feet, but it is equally important to engage our minds. Embracing love with wisdom allows us to make informed decisions and navigate the complexities of relationships. It enables us to assess compatibility, establish boundaries, and communicate effectively. Rational thinking helps us evaluate situations objectively, consider long-term consequences, and prioritize our well-being. By harmonizing love and rationality, we can experience deeper connections, emotional fulfillment, and build relationships based on trust, understanding, and mutual growth.